Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Stock Market Show. This is your host, Shades. We're going to talk about KULR Stock. Let's talk about what happened today. I told you guys, hey, I might jump in tomorrow. If this breaks $3, it's a good opportunity. But unfortunately, I did not alert this in the Discord. I did not alert it because if we look at what happened in pre-market, here's what happened in pre-market. Unfortunately, I was going to buy in if it didn't gap up. I don't like chasing gap ups. Here's why. I'm going to tell you why I have this rule. Don't chase gap ups. I know some people like to play gap and go. So the stock gaps up and you still chase it because it can still keep going. But I have a rule where I just don't play. I don't do that. I don't play gap and goes. I don't chase gaps. If it gaps up in the morning, I just stay out of it. And here's why. Because I don't like being, I don't know about you guys, but do you guys like being used? I don't like being used as liquidity. I don't like being used as liquidity so someone else could dump their shares on my head and then I take the loss, right? I don't like it. Maybe you do. Maybe you like being used like that. I don't. So when I see a stock gap up like this, I'm like, well, do I really want to be liquidity for someone else? Do I really want to take the risk? I have to hope that it goes, keeps going up. The people who made they're already making money here. The people who chased here in pre-market, who chased it up, and then it dropped. And as I saw this, and I'm like, that's not what I wanted. I wanted to see this movement here at open. I wanted to see this at open. I wanted to see this break $3 and go to 340, 330, 380, and then come down because obviously there's gonna be profit taking, right? But that's not what happened. Unfortunately, as soon as I saw this in pre-market, I was like, well, the move is it's already happened essentially, right? It's already broken above three. It's already, profit taking is happening. I imagine once the volume comes in, we're gonna dump, and look at that candle at open, right at open, boom, it dropped like a hotcake from all the selling. People are still buying the dip. We're kind of going nowhere today. I didn't buy in. I didn't alert it. It just didn't make sense, right? Again, do you like being liquidity for someone else? I don't. So I just wasn't. So, and I know someone did tell me. Let me see. It's going nowhere. I lost 130. It looks like a bear trap. I don't know why you bought in. Like, I guess I told you guys, like, I might jump in, but if I don't like what I'm seeing, obviously I don't like what I'm seeing. I don't want to be liquidity for someone else. That's my number one rule. Why I have that rule is because I trade penny stocks. Penny stocks are not very forgiving. For those of you who know about penny stocks, they're not very forgiving. If you chase here, if you chased here at 2 cents, thinking it's gonna break out and go to 3 cents, 4 cents, 5 cents, it's gonna go to the moon, a dollar, woo, cents to dollars, woo, we're gonna make a lot of money. If you thought that in your brain and you chased a breakout here, as you can see, you're holding a big bag. Someone used you as liquidity to dump it on your head, and now you're holding that big bag up here. But that's not what we do on this channel. So I don't like being liquidity. So what I do is I already bought 10K shares, not 10K shares, 10K dollars worth down here because this is the bottom and people love it cheap, right? I love cheap and it's going sideways. Sideways action in the OTC means no one wants it right now. The next PR, it'll send it back to 1 penny or above and I'll dump it for 30, 40, 50%. Because obviously it's the OTC, it's more volatile. It's a little more dangerous of a game to play up here in the OTC. So that's why I don't do that. So now you know why I have that mindset. The OTC teaches you that it teaches you real fast. Like you do not want to be the one holding the big bag up there at 2 cents because now you're down what over 50%. So that's my thought process. I'm just letting you know what my thought process is, why I am this way. So I think just wait to see how this closes today and see what happens tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'll still keep an eye on it and see if we get that breakout above 3. If we do get that breakout above 3, then we should see 334. We know that's resistance now. And then 380, of course. But if we switch to the weekly, I believe, don't we have a double bottom? Or double top, I mean? Or is it the 4 hour? I think someone mentioned a double top. Let me see. Yeah, it does look like a double top on the 4 hour. So that's another thing to be aware of. If it is going to be a double top that plays out, then I would watch to see if it dips down to $2, $2 to 210, yeah, somewhere around there, because that does look like a classic M pattern. So I would look to see if it comes down as low as $2, because buyers love it down here. You can see buyers stepping, right? It's going sideways, no one wants it. Boom, explosion, right? That's a nice 50%er here from $2 to $3. So I would wait and see what happens. It's a wait and see at this point. I wouldn't buy it right now. But that gap up was unfortunate. I was hoping it wouldn't gap up. No one wants it, and then at open it explodes. I was hoping for that V move at open. So watch for $2. Watch for dips because right now these technology stocks, these AI stocks, quantum stocks, space stocks, whatever you want to call them, dips are very profitable. Even quantum computing right now, dips have been profitable. So I would look to buy the dip instead of chasing at this point if it's going to play out that double bottom on the 4 hour. And so far it's following it to a T. So I would wait. I would wait at this point. So if you took a loss, I mean, now you know. Hopefully you learned like, hey, if you see a gap up, don't chase it because in the OTC is not forgiving. You cannot be chasing in the OTC because a penny stock can drop like 50% on you, like literally same day. So hopefully every video I make, I try to make it such that you walk away learning something. And maybe you see the market differently, get a new perspective on it. Because I don't really trade by the textbook, so to speak. I don't trade like traditional. I trade. I'm not gonna say against the books, but I don't do gap ups and goes. I don't just chase and hope for the best. There's a strategy behind it. But I also have rules in place like, hey, if it gaps up on me, I'm just not going to chase it. Why be the liquidity for someone else, right? So I just have these rules in place to prevent me from taking unnecessary losses. So Thunderbird 4709 here. Next time you see this kind of gap up before market open, just assume that it's going to sell off because those people that chased it up to 330, people are going to sell, right? They're going to take profit. Why wouldn't they? Can you blame them? So that's my thought process. I think he said it's going to the moon starting on Monday. Yeah, unfortunately, we didn't get the breakout. The breakout had to happen. What do you think of AMD? It's looking tempting. Since we talk about bottoms, I'll have to look at that later, and I'll let you know. Making space and naval special short circuit batteries for the Navy and Tesla also partners with Nvidia. Yeah, this is a good one to keep an eye on because it is partnered with Nvidia. A lot of stocks that partner with Nvidia, like SoundHound, which I told everyone buy SoundHound and hold that one long term. My price target for SoundHound long term is $100. Long term, by the way, I'm talking 5-10 years, not talking tomorrow. But those of you who know about SoundHound, I told you to buy this one when it was under like $10, $8. So you made a lot of money. And this one's partnered with SoundHound and also, what's the other one? Serve Robotics. So if any stock Nvidia touches, keep an eye on that one. Because all these stocks that are partnered with Nvidia, they've gone up massively. Let me show you the daily here on Serve Robotics. Like from $1.70 to 24. SoundHound from dollars to 24, I think, right? Yeah, it's kind of weird how both companies that have something to do with Nvidia hit 24 on top of 24 from a low of dollars. So, and I know for a fact that KULR is partnered with Nvidia. So what I'm telling you is look to buy dips, take advantage of the dips. And the dip that I'm watching for is down here if this double top pattern is going to play out. If it doesn't, then watch for the breakout. And I just showed you any stock that works with Nvidia it's been money in the bank. But you have to be patient. You have to be disciplined, or you'll lose $130, right? So that guy Thunderbird. Next time you see a gap up, don't chase it. Just be like, well, just assume people are going to use you as liquidity if you jump in at open. Just assume you're going to be used as liquidity because the market's not here to please you. It's here to take your money. So you got to have rules in place. That's just how I like to teach. That's just me. So hopefully some of you learned. I know some of you aren't going to learn. Some of you are going to keep going, no, I'm just going to chase and hope. No, you chase with a strategy, but you have rules in place that prevent you from taking losses like today because you have a rule where you don't chase gap ups. You just assume they're going to use you as liquidity to dump it on your head and leave you holding the bag or taking the loss. Okay? In the next video, I will be going over the due diligence. I will be touching on the financials for KULR.